Warm welcome viewers, you're watching To The Point. I'm Preeti Chaudhary. If not all, then most of us have one horror story on being on any one of the country's national highways. Well, no matter what state that you're in, there will be a stretch in your state which will be called locally as the death trap. Well, today we focus on the busiest highway in the country, which is the NH8. And we focus on a 44-kilometer stretch, which, viewers, in just the last 30 days has taken 12 lives, the Jaipur-Delhi stretch.
Highways have a similar role in the economy of a country that veins have in a body. If the veins are damaged, they're not healthy, a person gets sick. Similarly, if the highways of a country are not fit, its economy is hurt. And right now I'm standing at one of the most important veins of our country. This is Jaipur-Gurgaon National Highway, also called as NH8. And this is the situation like. There are potholes, the roads are damaged, no repair work is going on, and this does not lead just to a traffic disaster almost every day, a traffic nightmare almost every day, but when it rains and the roads are submerged in water, this can lead to a major accident as well.
NH8, the busiest highway in the Indian subcontinent, is also the deadliest for the people who tread it. It's the distance from Jaipur to Gurgaon, desperate for not just maintenance but immediate repair. Riddled with potholes, some a foot deep. Melted tar, parts of road reduced to rubble. Connecting Delhi to Mumbai through 2,800 kilometers, it's the 44 kilometers distance from Behror to Bawal on the Jaipur-Delhi stretch that has turned fatal for many of those who traverse it. And all due to the pathetic road condition. With accidents reported daily in the last 1 month alone, this stretch has killed 12 commuters with over 25 injured.
गड्ढे ज़्यादा भयंकर हो पड़े हैं, गाड़ी फंस जाती है, पटा वटा टूट जाते हैं, सबसे ज़्यादा नुकसान होता है, बहुत ज़्यादा परेशान है इससे।
रोड देख रहे हैं आप, टोल के बावजूद भी ये सारा रोड टूटा हुआ है, गाड़ी का नुकसान हो जाता है, बहुत सी सारी दिक्कतें हैं।
गड्ढा पूरे पूरे रोड में, इससे वाहनों को भी डैमेज होते हैं और क्या कहते हैं एक्सीडेंट के होने के बहुत चांस होते हैं, जान का खतरा रहता है। ये सरकार ना कुछ इसको गड्ढे बड्ढों को बढ़ाने की कृपा करे ताकि आने जाने वालों को सहूलियत मिले।
If not accidents, then traffic jams due to the terrible road conditions are reported daily on this crucial highway. With just 2% of the road length in India, national highways account for almost 37% of all road deaths. If one were to remove pedestrian deaths, which are more common in towns and cities, the percentage of accidents on national highways is close to 50%. Repeated complaints, pleas for maintenance have failed to move the National Highway Authority of India. Where charting the road to New India, the Road Transport and Highway Minister Nitin Gadkari continues to lay the stone for new highways. The question is, what about the old ones, where apathy continues to kill?
If a person evades from paying the toll taxes or what is now called the user fees, there is a hefty penalty. But the question is, shouldn't there be a penalty on those who are responsible for the upkeep of the roads if the condition of the roads are bad? With camera person Ajay Thakur, I'm Akshay Dongre for India Today.
I want to cut across immediately to my colleague Akshay, who filed this report on the Jaipur-Delhi stretch of the NH8. Akshay, the fact is, all of us somewhere down the line tragically have a story which is connected to somebody who was injured, had an accident on the various national highways in the country. But the specific stretch right now, which you have reported on, can you take our viewers through on how terrible is the road condition there?
Well, Preeti, this is one of the most crucial highways that connects the national capital. In fact, Delhi-Jaipur highways used to be considered one of the best, but now the condition is absolutely pathetic. We are talking about a road where the speed limits are somewhere around 100 kilometers per hour. And there are potholes on not just the service lanes, there are potholes on the main carriageway. There are potholes on the flyovers that are there on this particular route. It is a stretch of about 250 kilometers. And if you just move away from the national capital borders and if you drive down for about just 25 kilometers, as soon as the city of Gurgaon ends, the situation of the road goes from bad to worse. I traveled for about 100 kilometers on these roads, and the situation was appalling. People were troubled. People were questioning that what exactly is the toll fees for, if not for the upkeep and the maintenance of these highways. In fact, in September itself, the toll charges for this particular highway that cost somewhere around 300 per car to travel from the national capital to Jaipur, and for somewhere around 1,000 rupees for a truck to drive from the national capital to Jaipur. The toll fees was increased by 15% just this September. However, the situation remains extremely bad. The recent spell of rain in the NCR region has made the situation worse. The potholes are everywhere. When it rains, the service lanes are inundated, and when the roads are submerged in water, you cannot actually figure out that where is the road and where is the pothole. We are talking about the country where there are the highest number of deaths on the roads, and while there are
Right.
there are various reasons for that, these kind of potholes are the biggest contributors. They're talking about the cost, Preeti, that this particular road costed somewhere around 2,600 crore rupees to be built. However, the authorities who were earlier responsible for the upkeep of this road have already collected more than 6,000 crore rupees in terms of toll fees between 2009 and 2021. And now the National Highway Authority of India, the nodal authority of upkeep that is responsible for the upkeep of highways, is responsible for the upkeep of this
Right.
highway as well.
Akshay, I want
when
to ask
walk
you
on
one
these
quick question before I let you go. In the last 30 days, there have been 12 reported deaths on this particular stretch from Bawal to Behror, which is a part of the Jaipur-Gurgaon stretch of the NH8. There have been repeated requests, complaints that have gone to the NHAI. Even a lot of people, who've been at the back of this tragedy have written directly to the minister himself who takes care of highways, Mr. Nitin Gadkari. Why is it that the NHAI has not done anything at all? In terms of maintenance is a very, very long shot. This particular stretch is crying out for immediate repair.
Well, absolutely, Preeti. In fact, I tried to speak to the officials at the NHAI, but some sources at the NHAI told me that the contractor that they were trying to hire, that they had hired for the upkeep of this particular highway, did not turn up. Now, that is in fact a joke for National Highway Authority of India to say that this long stretch of highway that is somewhere around 250 kilometers long, the contractor did not turn up, and now they're trying to hire a new contractor for the upkeep of these roads. On many of the potholes, there was no sign that there is a pothole ahead. There was no sign that there is a damaged road ahead. And if a person is going at a speed of somewhere around 80 to 100 kilometers an hour, and if even a single tire of the car gets into that pothole, there is a very high probability
Right.
that the tire will just burst and there can be an accident. And God knows how many more deaths until NHAI will take cognizance of the
Well,
pathetic
Akshay,
situation
thank
of
you.
these highways.
Thank you for joining us. We're going to continue to come back to you for more updates there. My colleague Akshay will be tracking the reaction, hopefully, to his story on what the NHAI or the minister in question, Mr. Nitin Gadkari, says. I want to quickly cut across to our panel this evening. I have Raghav Chandra, former chairperson, NHAI. I have Anurag Kulshrestha, President Tracks Road Safety. Mr. Chandra, the fact is all of us have a story. I have a personal story of the Jaipur-Delhi highway, which has been recorded, while I was coming back from an election or a political assignment, where I saw the worst accident of my life. Somebody who I have grown up with just about 10 days ago lost his life at the age of 45. Most of us have a story to tell where the national highways are concerned. Why is it? You've been the chairperson of the NHAI. Every day we are witnessing ministers launch new highways. What about the old ones? The apathy continues to kill, sir.
Yes, what you are saying is quite right. It is clearly inexplicable and cannot be justified not taking care of an existing highway stretch, and that also a national highway as important as the Delhi-Jaipur one. That having been said, this has to be tackled at various levels. And the first and immediate task before the National Highway Authority, and I'm sure they are trying to address it, why they have not been able to orchestrate it is beyond my comprehension, because it's an essentially very efficient organization. Uh, they should at least do up the potholes immediately, and this is something which can be done across 48 or 56 hours, and there is a standard operating procedure for filling up such potholes to ensure that the damage done is absolutely minimized. Having done that, that is something that needs to be done on a war footing. They should address retopping and relaying the road as fast as they can by appointing a contractor. There are contractors aplenty. If one single contractor is not there, they could perhaps divide it into several parts. So that's, this stretch of 44 kilometers is immediately taken care of. And the third, of course, is what is already being done and which is already on the anvil, is to create greenfield expressways so that, you do not have to go through the cities and the towns where there is, because of which there is very heavy congestion. So you have to tackle it on all three fronts. The third is already being taken care of by building the newly aligned Greenfield Delhi to Mumbai Expressway, which will go along a different route,
Right.
and which will ensure that this is taken.
But Mr. Chandra, as I want to bring in Mr. Kulshrestha, and I want to ask you, we talk about, the Greenfield Expressway, we talk about the industrial corridor, which will be made for trucks from, say, Neemrana to Behror. The fact is, one can keep talking about launching these new initiatives, new highways, industrial corridors, but one does nothing to what we already have. This is the busiest highway, sir, and you know that better than I, in India.
Yes, Preeti, before starting anything, I'll just want to say one thing about the phenomena of the NHAI. NHAI is working on the basis of the concessionaires, and the second chain is the contractors. And it is managed by NHAI, like managers are there, project directors are there. But what happens, hardly they have any visit, they are just working by sitting in the offices. Even I am working on Hero Honda Chowk and Rajiv Chowk. That's the start from the Gurgaon on this highway. These both are the black spots, and they are removing these black spots for last so many years. And still these are the black spots. Main problem is this: on the entire stretch, this drainage system is completely failed. Number two, entry and exit on this highway, this particular highway, is completely ignored as per the national highway laws. Whenever there is a cut, whenever there is an exit, and whenever there is an entry, these are 100% wrong on this highway, and nobody is set accountable. I think as in Motor Vehicle Act, there is a provision: if something is wrong on the highway and there is a death, then the contractor will be fined for that. No, not the contractor. Project director must be fined for that. What type of management they are doing, what type of visit they are doing, what type of supervision they are doing. Managers are there, project directors are there. They must be set accountable for everything, for the regular supervision. What are they doing in sitting their offices only?
Mr. Chandra, the fact is that on the NH8, every day, sir, and once again, you've been the former chairman of the NHI, I don't have to tell you, crores is generated in terms of pure toll tax. The toll tax in the last 3 years, you are just looking at the figures, have doubled. The condition of the road has never been worse.
You have a point, and I know the question that you're going to ask me is whether, because the condition of the road is so pathetic, so should toll tax be done away with? Well, I think that's a managerial decision, and even the chairman of the National Highway Authority would not be empowered to do it, because ultimately this revision of tolls goes right up to the cabinet. But you have a point, and on a graded level, if the quality of the road is not commensurate with the toll that is being collected, there is a case for moderating the tariff and the toll that is collected, the user charge that is collected. I would not say that you should do away with the toll completely, because it's also a sense of discipline. After all, people are using that road. It is providing some sort of excess. However, there is a case for moderating the quantum of toll, and I think that is something that needs to be deliberated upon and determined and decided.
But Mr. Chandra, you know, one would be happy to pay the toll if the roads befitted paying that amount of money. You know, when I talk about why pay toll, when you're actually going into a death trap where you don't know, suddenly you'll see a patch which is clean and then you'll hit a series of potholes which on the highway right now, as my colleague demonstrated, are a foot deep. Anurag,
I find that absolutely incomprehensible, inexplicable and unjustifiable. And I think, I'm sure senior officers in the NHAI, the executives are listening in. Even if they are not, they would probably get to know through your communication networks. They should leave everything and take this up on a war footing to resolve the potholes, to ensure that the basic comfort level of the commuter is ensured.
Mr. Kulshrestha, should at some level, because you can't shut a road like this, what should be done? Because if you look at the condition of this particular 44-kilometer stretch, which starts from Bawal, which lies in Haryana, stretches all the way to Behrod, which lies in Rajasthan. Traversing this stretch is nothing else but a death trap. You know yourself, you yourself said how many times you've taken this road. What is the step? What does one do? Because any complaint that has gone to the NHAI, any complaint that has gone to the minister till now has fallen on deaf ears. You run an NGO, what is the option here?
Preeti, let me tell you one thing very clearly. We are working on Rajiv Chowk for last 1 year, and every design of the new crossing has been approved by the local administration, with in the presence of NHAI officials, managers, and they have submitted the plan for around 7 months back, and NHAI has told them that we are handing over this basically area to you, to the local administration. This is going on after approving by the District Road Safety Committee, that is DC and police commissioners and all engineers. Even the NHAI chairperson is not working on that. So main thing is that till the moment, instead of like beside the contractor, concessionaire as well as project director of the NHAI must be set accountable. Once if it is accountability is there, everything will be smoothing over there. Otherwise, second thing, about their SOPs, about their rules and regulations. I have seen this NH again and again number of times throughout the year. Just because of the poor drainage system, these potholes are created, because whenever there is a water logging, it's not passing. There are numbers of cuts. NHAI is unable to enforce the people. People are getting passes for their hotels, for their buildings, but NHAI is not taking the action on that because they don't have the enforcement agency with them. So this is the thing. Number one, NHAI must be accountable for two things. One is the poor maintenance, and other things for the enforcement on this particular stretch also, on every stretch.
Okay, I'm just going to give the final word to Mr. Chandra. Mr. Chandra, the commuters, the citizens of this country are very sick of now looking at visuals, talking about the highway to New India with installations of foundation stones of new highways, new corridors, when the ones that they actually have to commute by day after day are deteriorating to a level where you just don't know whether you're going to come back alive. That's actually something which people go on the highways right now and think of.
Yeah, you have a point, and but I must clarify that the new highways that are being built are very robust, good, useful amenities for access. That having been said, there is no justification for potholes, for dangerous highways, and the number of accidents on our highways is constantly increasing. The number of deaths is increasing. So this must be tackled on a war footing. There are methodologies for undertaking it. I would not blame just the managers or any individuals in the NHAI system. I think it's a robust system. It's just a question of getting their act together. Why they are not able to get their act together, I'm sure they would be attempting to.
But Mr. Chandra, where is the gap? I want to ask you. You know, the visuals have been there for everyone to see. It's not just happened this month. It's been now on for the last 2 years. The situation of this highway is only deteriorating to a level where if you actually ask experts, and you don't need to be an expert to see what is going on, this highway needs to be shut for maintenance?
You know, the highway can be shut for maintenance, but there is no alternative route as of now until the Delhi-Bombay Expressway project is ready, which should get ready in stages, but it would still not do away with the, you could still not close this highway. What is required is top-grade level of management on this highway. You need to appoint highway administrators who will just be monitoring this, patrolling this, repairing it, ensuring that contractors are performing. It requires more team effort, more focus, more attention. It is possible. It is not impossible. It is not Herculean. It is very doable. It's just a question, as I said, of getting their act together. Why they are not able to get their act together, it's incomprehensible.
Well, appreciate you joining us. Thank you, gentlemen. We're going to keep the spotlight on this particular stretch, and we're also, because we're getting a flood of social media engagement where they're asking us, what about highway XYZ, national highway in the south? There are so many in terms of urgent repair, urgent maintenance. We're going to follow this story, viewers, doggedly at that, because in the garb of launching new highways, the old ones where most of us have to traverse, they are the ones which are suffering. And the collateral is us, the citizens of this country. Thank you for joining us.